on the note of pleasure, I thought it was interesting to learn that the female clitoris is the only organ in either human body.
Saying female clitoris is kind of redundant.
That's true. I guess I just wanted to be clear for people that only female has one, but I guess everybody knows that. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm not talking to 2-year-olds, right? But I guess that's the little scientist in me trying to be very clear. But thank you. But that is the only organ that is actually solely designed for pleasure. And that's an incredible little thing to wrap your brain around, either in either sex, in either gender.
Maybe the male nipple, we're not sure about that.
You think? But the females have nipples too.
There's like a penis, it's kind of multitasking. Has different functions. Well, males don't have milk, but it's not really, I wouldn't compare it to the clitoris though.
Yeah, well, the clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings as opposed to the penis, which is like half of that.
I think the head of the clitoris is 8,000 nerve endings.
Well, and you know, that's an interesting point you said, the head of the clitoris, because what I also learned was that the clitoris actually has 18 distinct parts. You know, it's part muscle, it's part nerve, it's part nerve tissue, muscle, and it has something else that it has, but it also, it isn't just the external part in the woman's body, it goes up into the vagina, correct?
Yeah, it's the head of the clitoris is what shows, but then it has a body, and then it has roots that go, the nerve endings are attached and come in.
Yeah.
So, but the head of the, it's all about whatever person enjoys, and then they can be curious and find out about other parts of their body, other parts of their clitoris too, and play with those. I think the head of the clitoris is a great place to start, because that's where the most nerve endings are, and the easiest place to get to.
Yeah, and the most concentrated, and that's,
even though it's the easiest, it's still not always easy, especially even for women who want to self pleasure. Sometimes they don't even know like where their clitoris is exactly. We've had more than one student like that.
Exactly, and that's something that I think we all need to educate ourselves on our own body anatomy. I say that in one of my episodes, like, go in your room, lock the door, get undressed, get in front of a mirror and get a little hand mirror and look at yourself and see what's down there. We don't even know what we have. So, and that's the beginning of our sensuality right there. But I thought it was a very sad fact to learn when I was preparing for our episode today that 75% of women do not achieve orgasm with sexual intercourse, whereas opposed to 95% of men do. And now these are just estimates, but that's the research I found. That's pretty sad. So is the majority...
I don't think that's sad. I think that's the way it is. I mean, I guess you can see it as sad, but I don't, but you can also learn how to become more orgasmic with intercourse.
Oh, well, that's exactly the point. And that's what I meant by sad. That's how it had been, but it's not supposed to be or nor have to be. That's just from, just not, well, first of all, not making it a priority. I mean, science has regarded women's orgasms as quote unquote non-evolutionary essential, as opposed to a man's, because if a man does not ejaculate, the sperm doesn't get to reach the egg to reproduce the species. Whereas if a woman does not have an orgasm, it's not the end of the world, so to speak, literally. So science has pretty much, just poo-pooed most of women's sexuality, not to mention...
But there's all guys we're doing this, we're the scientists who create all this information.
And that was just to my point of why I said it was sad, because it doesn't mean it's normal or has to be by any means. It's just kind of how it's been up to this point. But thanks to Steve and Vera, they're going to change everything. And we're going to flip that number around and make it 75% of the women. But it seems like most women have orgasms by additional stuff to purely intercourse, meaning that manual stimulation, whether it be a hand, a mouth, a sex toy, something. Would you say that's correct in your experience? Most women are more orgasmic that way?
I would say I haven't met a woman who wasn't orgasmic.
Woohoo! When's your next workshop? That's fantastic. Woo!
I have a book that came out called Orgasm Matters, and it kind of takes off with that last book you showed, leaves off, and it goes into more detail. No, that's too bad. No, Orgasm Matters. I don't think you have that one.
I don't have that one yet.
It just came out.
That's wonderful.